If you are a short-term rental operator, this video is going to be one of the most important videos you watch because I'm going to give you some trends and statistics that you need to be aware of going into the summer of 2024, especially if you want to be competitive and stay in this game for the long haul. Next, when it comes to investing and getting into the short-term rental market, here's some trends that we're seeing that are very, very important that you should be looking at. And if you follow this channel, we just did that. We bought a property in southern Georgia, and I'm gonna get into why. Demand for smaller towns and unique destinations and unique property are at the highest it's ever been, right? So here's why you can take advantage of that. Number one, right now in these small towns, there's a lot of opportunity. Not only in these small towns, but unique destinations. Again, you follow my channel, you know I travel a lot, and I have a tendency to look for these smaller towns that provide unique experience. So for example, let's talk about Colombia. I recently did a video on some glamping Airbnbs that we got hired to optimize. These glamping Airbnbs are in Solento, these small coffee towns in the coffee region of Colombia. They're in Solento, Quimbaya, just to name two locations in which people there are taking advantage of the fact that a lot of people are, they're tired of going to the big cities, right? They're tired of going into Medellin, Bogota, Cartagena. They want a little bit more of a unique experience, and these small towns are going to provide that. Let's talk about Europe, right? In Europe, there's so many beautiful small towns that a lot of people are exploring. Myself and my son just came back from Europe, and in our travels, we saw these beautiful small little towns that I was surprised to see a lot of tourists visiting. But more surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of short-term rentals available, and there wasn't a lot of hotels, so people were driving to these destinations. Take advantage of that. Let's talk about unique Airbnbs, right? Unique structures. If you didn't follow Airbnb's recent summer release, they have just released what I refer to as some of the craziest unique short-term rentals you're going to see. Airbnb, again, as I mentioned, second most utilized OTA on the planet. They're making a big push for these unique experiences with properties. So they have these unique places. I'm just going to name a few off their website. They have one called the Crash at the X-Men Mansion. They have the Wake Up at the Rue d'Orsay. They have a Go VIP with Kevin Hart. They have the Drift Off the Up House. There's so many, right? But the point here is that long gone are the days in which you just get a standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, put it on Airbnb, and you're going to make millions. Those days are gone. You're going to be successful with those type of properties because they're always going to be in demand. But right now, what's trending is making sure that you get your house and make it super unique, make it stand out, provide some type of experience with that house. I'm going to touch on the property that I just mentioned in Solento. My friend Diego, who runs that Airbnb in Solento, which is in La Reserva, Guadalajara in Colombia, he understood this. I did an interview with this guy, and it's on my channel, so look for it. One of the first things I asked him was because his place was very unique, and he provides a horsebacking experience for his guests because he has a lot of land. And one of the first things he talked about was what I just mentioned. Long gone are the days of just putting up something and just providing a place for someone to stay. You have to provide an experience for people today. If you want to be competitive, that's it. Be unique, provide a unique experience, and you're going to be fine. Let's continue. The next thing is there's a lot of big sporting events that are happening. Now, this only applies to certain people because it depends on where you're at. So for example, if you are in Paris, you're going to make a killing. Why? Because the Summer Olympics are going there. The Paralympics are going there. In Germany, you have the Euro 2024. Miami, we had the recent Indy race that happened. It's a lot of events that are going to be happening in 2024, the summer 2024, that you should be taking advantage of. Let's talk about guest expectations and preferences and some of the trends that are happening for the summer of 2024. Some of this stuff you really need to, or you should have had this way before, but to exceed guest expectations and to stand out in this saturated market, you need to take advantage of technology. I said this this a lot on this channel. You need to take advantage of technology, and let's start off with the basics, which having keyless entry. I don't know why people in today's day and age are using keys, but you should have some type of keyless entry and some self-checking procedures for your guests. More and more people want, first of all, you don't want to deal with the headache of keys. And guests don't want that headache either. They don't want to be having to look for keys or fearing they're gonna lose keys. Having a keyless entry is going to be very, very important. Next is the increasing demand for communication, and that communication to happen fast. So again, you should have some type of digital communication, some type of automation, and more importantly, this is something big that we just started to use, and it's extremely important, and it's going to be, I would bet, in the next 1 to 3 years, if you don't have it, you're going to be way behind the 8 ball, and that's using AI to communicate with your guests. Why AI, right? Why auto messages? In today's microwave world, people want stuff fast, and they want it now, and they want it to be personalized, and they want it to be efficient. So you can't do that if you're the one that's doing everything. If you're the one that's answering inquiries, because you're not going to have your phone with you 24/7. And that's why it's important that you have automated messages, but more importantly, you have AI that can read a message and respond to that message correctly. We made a big investment and a big push in AI, and I can tell you it makes a world of a difference, and it really does separate you from other hosts, and it does provide a better guest experience. And again, that's going to be key, providing a phenomenal guest experience if you want to be successful. Next is, and now this is a controversial subject here that I'm going to talk about, because Airbnb just made a big deal about this, and that is having cameras. We've always had cameras on our properties. We never had cameras on the interior of the property, and now we never believed in that, and now you can't. So those of you that for whatever reason thought you needed cameras on the interior of your property, can't do it anymore, or at least you can't advertise on Airbnb if you have cameras on the interior. But I'm a firm believer that you should have cameras on the exterior of your property. It provides security, not only for you and your property, but it does also provide security for the guests. Believe it or not, guests that are not out there to violate your rule want that. They want to feel secure in the property. Having cameras provides that security. Plus, you have a duty to provide security for your guests. So having cameras is going to be important.